Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Dear authors and invited guests, welcome to the technical session 3B. My name is Shobhit Pokhriyal, and this session would be moderated by me. On the behalf of Global Knowledge Research Foundation, it is my great pleasure to welcome you all to the second World Conference on Information Systems for Business Management, that is ISBM 2023, Bangkok, Thailand. The second edition of the conference is being organized in hybrid mode. The physical event is organized in Bangkok, Thailand today, and the virtual event is being held through Zoom today and tomorrow, that is 7th and 8th September 2023. This series is organized in extension to the ICT 4SD conference series. I hope you will enjoy the knowledgeable and interactive session through the day. In this session, we have 7 presentations. Please note that in this session, each presenter has been allocated 12 minutes for presentation and questionnaires and answer. It means presenter should finish their presentation in 10 minutes and 2 minutes for questionnaires and answers. On 8 minutes, I will raise a gentle reminder. There is another request to all the participants to stay connected with us till the closing remarks. If you have any query or update, then you can write it to me in the chat box or to Harsh Soni sir. Just before we start the session, I would like to introduce you all with the chair for this session. First up, we have is Dr. Ruchi Nanda. She is working as an head in the Department of Computer Science and IT at IIS, Jaipur, India. She has actively contributed in teaching and research and development for the last 17 years. Her areas of interest and research are in big data, cloud computing, machine learning, and database. Welcome, ma'am. Kindly address all of us with the welcome remarks. Pardon me, ma'am, but you're not audible. You're on mute, ma'am, actually.
Let me check.
Yes, now you're audible, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, I am Dr. Ruchi Nanda, heading the Department of Computer Science and IT, IIS deemed to be University, Jaipur. First of all, I would like to thank the organizing committee to invite me in this prestigious conference. I wish all the best to all the participants, and that's all from my side. All the best to all of you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Next up, we have is Dr. Gitanjali R. Shinde. She has overall 15 years of teaching experience. She is presently working as assistant professor in the Department of Computer Engineering at Vishwakarma Institute of Information Technology, Pune, India. She has presented a research article in World Wireless Research Forum, WWRF meeting, Beijing, China. She has published more than 50 papers in national and international conferences and journals. Welcome, ma'am. Kindly address us with the welcome remarks.
Thank you for the nice introduction, and thank you for giving me opportunity to chairing this session. I'm Gitanjali Shinde, and I'm heading CSC Computer Science and Engineering AI/ML Department, Vishwakarma Institute of Information Technology, Pune. So I wish all the best to each and every researcher to present their research work, and good day ahead. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So let's start on with the research papers. First up, we have is Leif Z. Knudsen, who is going to present his paper on a survey on the perception of opportunities and limitations of generative AI in public sector. Are you there, sir?
Yes, I am. Thank you.
All right.
Seems that I can't share my stuff yet, so you have to.
So can you please try again?
There we go. Okay. Does this look right?
Yes, sir. It's visible.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Leif Knudsen. I work at the Simula Metropolitan Center for Digital Engineering in Oslo, Norway. And I'm just going to dive right into it. There. So the background for this paper is that the use of artificial intelligence in general and generative AI in particular, what we're going to be calling Gen AI, is controversial topics in the public discourse, and yet they're increasingly in use in the public sector. So our point of view, our starting point is that the responsibility for actually implementing these systems lies with IT professionals. So we wanted to find out how IT professionals in the Norwegian public sector perceive generative artificial intelligence. And as an aside, because this is fairly unplowed area, we wanted to find out if Gen A, particularly ChatGPT, could actually generate a usable and useful survey for investigating this question. So that was our starting point. And as you all know, AI has been a subject of interest for quite a few decades, actually. And our understanding of what artificial intelligence actually means has been challenged, and it continues to evolve as the state of the art continues to change too. And the large language models section, which includes Gen I, is the most famous of these, at the moment at least, being ChatGPT, and it's been released for use in several iterations. And those last versions have gotten the most attention. So there are several actual and conceivable uses for Gen AI in the public sector and in science. So there's quite a bit of optimism about this, but there's also quite a few concerns about over-relying on it, and also that there may be intentional as well as unintentional abuse of Gen AI, particularly in the public sector, which depends on, after all, on the public trust. So we generated ourselves 4 research questions, and then we put those to ChatGPT. So the first question was, to what extent do IT practitioners consider themselves familiar with generative AI? In other words, what level of confidence did they have about their own knowledge of the technology? The next question was, to what extent do they feel that software development efforts or digitalization efforts in the public sector consider Gen AI for their solutions? Third was, what are the main benefits and disbenefits that they see in 3 areas, which I'll get back to, that are potential use for generative AI? And the last question, which is kind of to see if they could tell that much of the survey was actually generated with ChatGPT. So our approach to this was that we generated the questionnaire by articulating research questions as prompts to English ChatGPT, and then iteratively improving the precision of the prompts. So in other words, we had to iteratively learn by talking with ChatGPT how to best phrase the prompts that generated the questions. And then we took advantage of a public seminar that we hold about 3 or 4 times a year on various topics to execute the questionnaire. And then we followed up with others in the field to get a good sample. And we included in that questionnaire demographic questions that we routinely use for these surveys. And then we analyzed the results with standard non-parametric tests, which we can go into, but I don't know if there's time for that. So here are the results. For the first research question, whether there was knowledge of and interest in generative AI, what we found was that they were pretty interested, but they rated their knowledge as moderate. See, they ended up sort of a 3, 4, 5 there, which is to say that they were a little uncertain about their own knowledge. At least that's what it suggests to us. But there was one interesting case, which was their interest in learning was very high. So what we took away from that was that they're still in an early phase in figuring out what this is all about, but they have an interest in learning more. I should point out that the participants in these seminars are people who are interested in the subject. So we can't test whether they are representative of the overall people who are likely to implement these things, but we think it at least provides a good starting point. For the second research question was whether they had any faith that the public sector was actually taking this seriously. And this was sort of split up into whether they believed there was potential for AI or generative AI to enhance digital solutions, and whether, in fact, the public sector was doing anything about that. And what we found out was that they were very upbeat about the opportunities, but very negative about the extent to which the public sector actually is taking this seriously. And then we looked at, the various segments that went into this. And we found out that they were pretty downbeat about that, actually. And as for the third research question, which is really split into 3 sections, and this is something that ChatGPT did for us, because we asked them what are 3 areas that are most relevant for generative AI in the public sector, and they came up with automated service delivery, data analysis and decision-making, content generation and personalization. And then we asked them to come up with key benefits or disbenefits or desired and undesired effects for each of these. And they came up with 3 for each of these. And what we found out was that for the most part, people were optimistic about the benefits or the positive effects of generative AI, but they're a little bit more concerned about the undesired effects. So this sort of reflected this idea that there was a great deal of ambivalence towards the phenomenon within the public sector. And then finally, we asked whether ChatGPT generated a usable and useful questionnaire, and we actually used ChatGPT to generate the criteria for the quality of the questionnaire as well. And we found out that they were pretty positive about it. They thought it was clear, it was relevant, it was well constructed and logical, it had a good range of answers, it maintained a neutral stance, and it appeared a professional. They rated the level to which it was original and creative lower, not surprisingly. But the curious thing was that they also had low confidence in their ability to detect whether AI was being used, but they guessed correctly that we got help from that. So to summarize, the optimism about the potential of Gen AI is very high, but it's tempered quite a bit by the skepticism about the limitations and pitfalls. There's quite a bit of nervousness about it. The perception is that the public sector, at least in Norway, is falling behind in understanding both the benefits and the potential pitfalls of this. They want to learn more about it, and that ChatGPT was not a bad tool to get started for surveying these things. So now I came in well under the time limit, so there's time for more questions if anybody wants to raise them.
Hello.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah. It was a nice presentation.
Thank you.
Can you just elaborate more on the audience of survey, from whom you have taken survey, and how much responses you have received? This is first. And second, about public sector, what is different type of applications you have taken into mind, this you have considered for public sector?
Right. So in terms of the audience, these are people that we invite. They're generally IT managers. We do some demographic questions about that, and they're generally management level people who have an interest in how to use digitalization in the public sector. We typically get between 60 and 80 participants, which is not bad for an event like these, because there's many of them. And I think we got about 60 responses to this particular survey. Your second question is about the characteristics of the public sector. Did I hear that correctly?
Yes, correct.
Yeah. So, Norway is is considered a welfare state. So there's a lot of public services, both to individuals and to businesses and other organizations. So it's a pretty elaborate structure. And in Norway, because of that, a lot of the public institutions actually are in the forefront of using technology and building IT capabilities, which is one of the reasons why we actually exist. I'm part of something called the Center for Effective Digitalization of the Public Sector. So that's our primary research. And they also are more free to share experiences and share technologies than, of course, the private sector are, because they're not in competition with anybody. Did that answer your question?
Yes. And I would like to know about what is your opinion from your survey, that is about the authenticity of results given by ChatGPT.
ChatGPT has a lot of limitations. I mean, our experience was that it was a good language model, but we asked repeatedly to come up with references for some of its ideas. And, all we got was hallucinations. It just came up with fictitious references. So it was not useful for that at all. So I would not use it to summarize research, but it seemed to be a pretty good tool for categorizing and organizing knowledge. And so the topical structure turned out to be pretty good. But as was pointed out and also reflected in the results, it was not particularly creative or original. It was the kinds of things that you might want to expect. And that was our experience too in looking through it. Also, we had to pay very close attention to how we prompted to generate these things. So we spent actually quite a bit of time on that. And the other thing is we found out there were huge differences in the responses we got depending on which language we used. So we tried it in English, Norwegian, Spanish, and German, and got vastly different answers. And the English one was the best quality because there's a bigger corpus of text that ChatGPT in English uses.
Okay, nice presentation. That's it from my
Yeah.
side. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, it was a very nice presentation and yet very demanding topic regarding generative AI and ChatGPT. So how you are planning to extend this work? Like more responses if you will get, definitely your analysis would be different. So are you planning to extend in some way?
Yeah, so we're discussing that right now, actually. I think the way we're going to go right now is to go more into the actual AI projects, because there's actually a directory of ongoing AI projects within the public sector, and go use more in-depth interviews with a wider set of stakeholders to understand what's going on and what their concerns are. Because as far as we can tell, this is just a starting point for discussion and further research. Because a lot of these concerns they have are just suspicions, since they admit that they don't have a lot of knowledge. So we need to build more knowledge in order to have a more reasonable and well-informed debate on these things.
Okay. Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, sir, for your presentation.
Thank you. Good luck, everybody.
So next up we have is Miftashul Huda, who will be presenting on the topic that is development of digital heritage for archaeovisit tourism resilience, evidences from e-Lengong web portal. So are you there in the meeting?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
Okay, thank you
Very
everyone.
fun topic here.
All right, let me present
Yes, sir. Please do.
my slide. Okay, anybody can see?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
All right. Our topic today is development of digital heritage for archaeovisit tourism resilience, evidence from e-Lengong web portal. The authors here are Adnan Jusso, me, and then Miftah Huda, Robert Abdullah, and then Nazir Ahli. Rationale of the study. All right. One of the industries that receive a severe blow due to the COVID-19 pandemic is one of them is the tourism sector. Throughout the year 2020, the tourism industry around the world is almost completely paralyzed, and not exception in Malaysia situation. According to the Tourism Malaysian reports, that the COVID-19 impact pandemic has effect to the tourism industry nationwide. And because of this, in this context, the various efforts made by the government to restore the economy since being hit by the pandemic. And as a result, the economic stimulus package announced on 18 January 2021 through Malaysian Economic and People's Protection Assistance Package (PERMAI). And therefore, the local community in this country, in Malaysian context, to be advised to also make the historic heritage site one of the locations to enhance the economic growth. And due to the rationale of the study and this context, the objective is this article aims to examine the importance of the E-Lenggong Heritage Site web portal to the development of archaeology tourism at the Lenggong World Heritage Site, Perak, Malaysia, in post-COVID-19. This is important because the development of archaeology tourism at the World Heritage Site, UNESCO Lenggong, was severely affected following the threat of the COVID-19 virus in 2020 to 2022. The methodology here, the research design, the method of this study is quantitative by using questionnaire instrument to obtain data on the importance of E-Lenggong Heritage Site web portal to the development of archaeology tourism at the Lenggong World Heritage Site, Perak, Malaysia, in the post-COVID-19. The total of the participants were 400. 400 questionnaires were distributed to the tourists around the world heritage site UNESCO Lenggong Perak. And the analysis, the data obtained from the questionnaire then was analyzed using statistical package for social science or SPSS software. As for the occupation respondents, the total 130 people or 3% work in the government sector, and 48 people or 13% work in the private sector. 75 people or 20.4% are self-employed. 103 people or 28% are students, and 12 people, 3.3% not working or housewife or retired. So the table 1 here represents the background of the respondent. Table 2, profile of respondent traveling. All right. Table 2 shows the travel profile of the respondents to the Prehistoric World Heritage Site, UNESCO Lenggong, which covers 3 questions, which are arrival time, duration of visit, and method of arrival. As for the time of arrival, a total 1 to 9 people, respondents come on Sunday, and 80 people on public holidays, and 54 people on school holidays, and 1 or 5 people on weekdays. And next, for the duration of the visit, a total 2 or 4 people visit for 1 or 2 days, and 99 people visit for 3 to 4 days, and 24 people visit for 5 to 6 days, while the rest of 41 people visit more than 7 days. The method of arrival shows that 258 people came by themselves, and 34 people came with a tour package, and 76 people through an official visit. And now we are going to the table 3. Table 3 shows in detail the frequency of each facility item at the World Heritage Site UNESCO of Lenggong. It was found that the majority of items showed an agreement scale of agree and neutral. For the first, fourth, fifth, and sixth, seventh, and eighth, and 10th items, that did show agreement on the neutral scale, while the second, third, ninth item shows agreement on agreed scale, which is at a mean value between 3 or 1 to 4 This shows that the facilities at the World Heritage Sites UNESCO Lenggong area at satisfactory level, considering the location of the heritage site in a rural area. And this is the importance of the websites in promoting the World Heritage Site UNESCO of Lenggong. So we can see here that the first is about the information, the importance of the information that should be promoted by the government agencies, non-government official, and others. And the point two is on the government agency and local authority to be able to involve in the marketing process to the World Heritage Sites to enhance the economic growth. And all of this shows that the importance of tourism sector marketing should do with the way how to strategize the proper way in distributing the information to throughout the web portal.
So,
Yes,
so
and the conclusion.
this is a
Yes.
8 minutes reminder. You have 2 minutes left.
Yes. Now we are going to the marketing promotion. The marketing promotion here, as we know that Lenggong, if all of you search on the Google Lenggong Perak, so you will see how the landscape uh, with the small and the green land there, that the promotion and the marketing mainly during a post COVID-19 and the uh, is important because in order to enhance, to boost the economic growth, especially the tourism sector. And now we are going to conclusion. The findings of the study show that the facilities at the World Heritage Site, as UNESCO knowledge, are very satisfactory level, with the majority of respondents responding in agreement and neutral. The study expects to help related parties to further improve the quality of facilities and information at the World Heritage Site, to encourage the presence of domestic and foreign tourists, as well as to increase tourism activities and the local economy. And the last, the web portal Lenggong Heritage Site, especially regarding the Lenggong World Heritage Site, needs to be constantly updated in order to be able to provide the latest information to the tourists. That's it. That is our presentation on e-tourism through e-Lenggong Heritage Sites. Thank you very much. Any question and comments are welcome. Yes, the time is, yes.
I have a question.
Yes,
Yes.
please.
How you decided these questions to be part of your research questionnaire? Is there any particular technique you have used?
Yes, currently our focus study is on examining the demographic situation, mainly among the participants, and the participants came from the various background. So for the first study, we come with the growth phenomenon, so that we can see what is the basic information that we need to more expand in terms of the experience or perspectives or beliefs, so that when we gain the information from the groups, yeah, along with the wide range of participants backgrounds, so that we can compare, we can generalize what is the main need that we can make this as the starting point to explore more the research in the future. Yes.
Okay.
I think can answer the question.
Yes, yes, yes. And
Okay, thank you.
I have just a suggestion for your presentation that whenever you present your data, it should be clearly visible, right? Because
Yes, yes,
you have done this survey and the values are not visible.
yes,
है ना?
yes.
So just it's a suggestion for enhancing your presentation.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Lucy. So we will make some amendment for our future presentation. Okay, thank you very
Yeah,
much for the very good and constructive comment, Dr. Ruchi. Yes,
thank you so much from my side.
yes, thank you.
It was nice presentation. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much, sir, for the presentation.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Sobit. Yes. See you later.
Yes. So next up we have is Zaki Machmuda, who's going to present her paper on governance, disclosure, integrated reporting, CEO compensation, firm value. Ma'am, are you there in the session?
Yes, yes, I'm ready.
All right. Just a minute, ma'am. Now you can share your screen.
Thank you for the time. In the first, can I introduce? Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for the time. In the first, can I introduce myself to you? I'm Yaki Mahmuda. In the special occasion, I am with Mr. Dwi Arso Utomo. On the special occasion, we want to present my paper. The title is Governance Disclosure, Integrated Reporting, CEO Compensation, and Firm Value. Okay, the introduction of the research is in the current corporate era, various reporting trends in corporation are progressing. Advance in technological development have a significant influence on the existing reporting system. Many companies are starting to adopt a more complex and effective reporting model. They do not only present financial information, but also increase the existing information in the process of decision making of the stakeholder, which are complemented by traditional financial reporting and non-financial reporting. This is because there are worries that conventional corporate reporting is insufficient to address the information needs of different stakeholders. Moreover, explain that financial information alone does not have enough potential to create a true value from the organization. Therefore, companies must be create value by providing quality and credibility information or signal to the capital market. This explanation is in according with space that disclosure of reports having good quality will influence company value. This study explored the impact of governance disclosure, integrated reporting, and CEO compensation on firm value. Corporate governance is a company control system that influences a series of relationship among management of company, the commissioner board, shareholders, and other stakeholders in increased economic efficiency. Corporate governance disclosure as an instrument is used to disclose corporate governance information. Corporate governance disclosure aims to manage risk in meeting corporate objectives. This related to how investors believe that the company and provide benefit. then in turn it will have an effect on company value. The theoretical framework and the hypothesis development. The theoretical framework use agency theory and signaling theory. Agency theory is the assumption of interest difference between principal and agents built by Eisenhower cause agency problem. Agency theory elaborates future from a signaling perspective. Conflict of agency happens when agents take opportunities action to maximize utilities for his own interests. The action can mislead stakeholders to make wrong economic decisions. According to agency theory, the company can use a variety of strategies, such companies planning and voluntary disclosure, to lessen conflict of interest among its employees. And the signaling theory, corporation sends signal to its stakeholders through voluntary disclosure, including ESG disclosure, sustainability disclosure, corporate social responsibility reporting. It is hoped that the signal can be respond will be its stakeholder. If the signal is respond well, then the company value reflected in the stock price will increase. And if the signal is not well received, there is be no change in the company value. It means that the stock price does not change in additional is the expected that which company providing signal to the stakeholder. Agency conflict and can be minimized, so the agency cost will also decrease. The hypothesis development in the research is first hypothesis is governance disclosure significantly affect on firm value. Second hypothesis, integrated reporting significantly effect on firm value. And the third hypothesis, CEO compensation signally effect on firm value. The research method quantitative is the type of research method, and data observation start from 2018 to 2021. The tools of analysis is WebPLS version 7.0. And the result of the research is like this. The picture above explains that governance disclosure has a p-value of less than 0.1 or 0.08, meaning that governance disclosure has an influence of firm value that is consistent with the agency theory and signaling theory, which states that when a company provides voluntary disclosure, it will reduce information asymmetry so as to minimize agency costs. Besides that, voluntary disclosure will provide a signal to stakeholders so that it can raise the company's value. And the second hypothesis, the study also indicates that integrated reporting does not affect on firm value because the p-value is 0.40. This is according with Churat and Sutipun, which state that integrated reporting and firm value has no effect. The reason for the absence of integrated reporting effect is possible because there are other more important factors that affect firm value. In addition, integrated reporting is also not familiar to all stakeholders. Only South Africa has made the application of integrated reporting mandatory. And the third hypothesis, CEO compensation is the study indicate that it affects firm value because the p-value is 0.1. It is aligned with agency theory stating that there is a conflict of interest, so that everyone will fulfill their own interest. It means that the higher the CEO compensation given by the company, the higher the firm value will be. The CEO will be compensated in according with stimulates the CEO to make the best decision for the company.
Ma'am,
Yes,
ma'am, 9 minutes have been exceeded, so you have 1 minute to conclude.
yes.
Okay.
And the conclusion in this research is the study concludes that firm value can be influenced by voluntary disclosure such as governance disclosure. In additional, CEO compensation can also have an impact on firm value because CEO compensation will affect the strategic decision making of company. However, integrated reporting does not affect on firm value. The very low R square which is only 2% is used as a limitation of the problem of the study. The suggestions for future research is to modify the research model. It can add mediating or moderating variables as well as editing other independent variables having a written influence of firm value. Okay, that's all my presentation. Thank you very much.
Hello.
Yeah.
In research method side, you have said that data from 2018 to 21. Can you elaborate more on that?
Yeah, because the data can I get into until 2021.
Can you elaborate more on what type of data, what are the attributes, and from how we have taken all this analysis from that data that I'm asking about?
So 2021 is a pandemic COVID-19.
Okay, that's it from my side.
All right. Thank you so much, ma'am, for the presentation.
Thank you.
Next up we have is Miftushil Huda again. And this time he'll be presenting the presentation on information and communication ethics in social media for indigenous people's religious understanding, a critical review. Over to you, sir.
Yes. Okay, all right. Thank you for Master of Ceremony. So now I'm going to present the paper on, let me wait. And present. All right. Information and communication ethics in social media for indigenous people's religious understanding, a critical review. So our paper now, the author is Abdul Hadi Burham, Utami Shahdiyah, Muhammad Azman Hussein, and me, Miftahul Huda, Muhammad Abdul Rahim, Dedi Elias, and Ahmad Soleh Sa'ni. All right. Rationale of study. Communication refers to the way of how human potential that has existed in helping them to live and develop into the social community. This provides an example of pleasant communication and gives goodness and benefits to people who communicate. And because of this, the forms of communicating with others and mainly with other members could be seen into the following realized through an emphasis on social ties called mu'amalah, which are reflect in all aspects of human life, such as social, cultural, political, economic, artistic, and so on. The main problem of this research is that there is a role of how the social media communication ethics in eradicating body shaming. What is the role of Islam, for example, and the ethics of social media communication in eradicating body shaming? The objective is the study aims to discuss the role of the Islam and the ethics of social media communication in eradicating body shaming. And this is followed by the main point of the study refers to give insights into building both theoretical and practical impact in contributing to the ethical consideration in using social media, as this is important to ensure the clarity, feasibility, and integrity of disseminating the information, knowledge, and other purposes in enabling the communication in eradicating body shaming. Now, now we are going to literature review. As a theoretical basis of this research, literature review is needed. Communication ethics in social media, especially Instagram, is needed to upload pictures or photos, words, status, and even give opinions. And what needs to be underlined is that Instagram, for example, is social media in the public domain so that universal citizens can access and have the right to give positive and negative opinions without any limits. And because of this, the ethical manner on social media especially could generate the progression on giving the valuable insight into advancing individual life from the assistance they give. And as a result, the socialization on interacting the individuals to continue their performance aims that such scenario on letting the practical implementation would be starting point on optimizing the benefit. The methodology, the approach of this study was conducted through qualitative basis, where the literature review was made through descriptive oriented analysis. And in this study, researchers did not need a place to research, but use direct observation research techniques on the role of Islam and the ethics of social media communication in eradicating body shaming.
So can you present your screen again? I think it's just
Wait,
stopped.
I think there is a mistake. Sorry, let me.
No problem, sir. Take your time.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, let me continue. maybe just a little bit more. Research and discussion, translating communication ethics to address this research aims to elaborate on Qaul Ma'rufan education or good science to address body shaming by focusing on conceptual analysis and formulating solutions to be implemented in the field. And this definition states that Islam does explain not only the rules of life, but also the information or news needed in human life. In the sense that in order to create the peaceful condition and circumstance, the good science is very, very important, so that the any practical or any ethical manner that the human life is doing should do with how to create, how to maintain the good science, as this will relate with results in creating the peaceful harmony. So now currently the emergence of the expansion of digital communication comes to the social media. So social media now is the main platform that the society can share, can distribute any information regarding their life, and even for whether it is give positive or even the negative impact. The importance point of having the ethical manner could be the key maintenance on managing the human performance with good values. So the important is that distributing the positive information should be made properly in combating the negative information with the incredible sources. And this can be said that communication ethics is essential in life, and thus good communication will create better and harmonious relationship without causing misunderstanding and causing disputes with each other. So the capacity on determining the importance of social media, especially in helping the human life, could be seen into the way on distributing the message, the information, and the knowledge to others. Now, how the way to manage communication ethics in social media. The first is how the comprehension that social media as the platform should be built among the people. How, of course, from the consistency, from the inner commitment to always point out that social media is the one to transform the information to others, to give the benefit, to give the beneficial values to others, so that the social harmony can be achieved. Now, how the strategic point? The strategic point is that how the communication skill, mainly in the use of social media, played a significant role, so that the way how to deliver the message to others should do with how to create, how to result in good science.
So this is a 8-minute reminder. You have 2 minutes.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Okay, now we are going to conclusion. As we know that the role of communication ethics, for example, in Islamist perspective, in the use of social media, will result in excellent balanced communication in social media, as long as the principles to be maintained, so that the achievement in this scenario, mainly on translating the theoretical expertise into the practical enhancement to be arranged in building know how information principles is. The finding point out that the 3 points, the first is about how understanding the basic needs of communication ethics, and then followed by the ethical communication in social media, and also construct by the communication ethics in governing process of information transmission. So that's all. That is our presentation about the information and communication ethics on indigenous people reduced learning from the critical review perspective. So now the time I give back to the our master of ceremony, Mr. Yes, any suggestion and comments are very, very welcome.
I think you have justified the title of your research paper. Uh, how many papers you have reviewed for analyzing and to write down this conclusion? And as your title says, it's a critical review. So could you please elaborate on that?
Yes, okay, thank you, Dr. Ruchi Nanda, for the question. All right. First of all, before we create the critical review, so we need to have at least more than 20 articles as the main sources to be filtered, to be examined, to be analyzed, and then to be selected, which is properly related to our main discussion as the chosen topic. For example, about the communication ethics. So we need to search from the journal related to the communication, and then information, and then information and technology people, for example. So from that mapping, then we can see the possible gap that we can still give as our contribution. That is our answer. Hopefully, can answer the question, Doctor. Yes.
Yes, yes. Okay, thank you.
Similar line to Ruchi ma'am, I would like to ask you about what are the parameters you have considered while taking the review?
Yes, Miss Gitanjali. All right. Thank you for a question. Because our scope is on how to manage the information and communication ethics that will hopefully create the social harmony. So the parameter is as long as the paper relates to the information issues and communication challenge mainly in the digital era, so we can consider as the one with our priority is to see the potential contribution to create the main point or conceptual framework mainly about the uh, enhancing, mainly about the way how to enhance that such scenario can be maintained, can be at least can be built and established uh, among the society, and especially to us as the main author. So um, for uh, for us, the important is how the way to maintain the ethics in communication and information should do with the way how our think of the social media, for example, as the platform, whether social media as a tool to create the benefit or opposite. So all of this should do with our uh, first comprehension to look on the communication itself and the platform that we use. So that is our answer that hopefully
Oh,
might answer to the question, Miss
yes.
Gitanjali. Okay, thank you. Any question?
Yes, thank you. Thank you. That's it from my side.
Okay, thank you very much to all very, very constructive comments and question. Then the time is again to Mr. Ceremony, Mr. Sobit, please.
Thank you so much, sir, for this presentation. Now, next up we have again Mr. Shilhura, sir. Now, his paper is on managing information, leadership for learning performance, and empirical study among public school educators.
Yes,
So,
thank you
over to
very
you.
much. Yes, for the 3 times, Mr. Sobit. You mentioned, okay, all right. Let me share the yes, hopefully can be visible.
Yes, it's visible.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. for allowing us again for the 3 times to present our paper. Uh, for this paper, our topic is managing information leadership for learning performance, an empirical study among public school educators. The authors of this topic, Muhammad Zuki Abdul Rahim, and me, Miftahul Huda, Abdul Hadi Burham, Ahmad Yunus Kasim, and also Muhammad Syabari Uthman. Uh, from University of Pendidikan Sultan Idris, Malaysia, and also Sri Begawan Religious Teacher University College, Brunei Darussalam. Rationale of study. The social dimensions always experience dynamic development, including the progression of science and technology, which are now being dominant factors established in the human education, and finally, resulting shift of humanist values. The first one. The second one is, in other side, education itself within an old paradigm, complete with crises and anomalies, facing global social cultural transformation. And as a result, it is increasingly challenging in today's world to view the education sector as a vital and one that should be made a priority in achieving a country's objectives and a vision. This is our challenge in today's world and mainly in the educational sector. Now, so because of this rationale of the study, now our study is to examine, to analyze information leadership among public school educators in 2 secondary schools in Malaysia. In general, the aim of Islamic education, for example, is to develop moral characters and the mind. And from this scenario, this includes cultivating the 3 key domains of a human, from cognitive, affective, and psychomotor. Now we are going to the literature review. Cornell 2013 has described leadership as a positive behavior which influence subordinates towards achieving certain organizational targets and objectives, while building strong communication within the organization and demonstrating the power to lead. And the leadership style of teachers, mainly in the teaching process and the learning acquisition, has a significant impact on the students' levels of academic achievement. According to Shupi and Plate 2010 and Yildirim et al. 2008, and followed by Young et al. 27, that states effective leadership among teachers might improve learning performance in academics and reduce achievement gaps among students. So now this is the gaps. The results. Okay. First of all, please accept our apology if the data is not clearly seen. Yeah. The first is about the how the leadership of the how the information on sustaining the leadership practice. Yeah, this comes from the teacher activities and practice, and then it allows, and then followed by the instruction process, and then the third one is about the way how to communicate in the classroom, and then the fourth one is how to be creative. Yeah, to be creative, mainly in the information usage and adoption, and the fifth one about the uh, uh, to be continued, to be consistency in the practice. The table one about the teaching leadership in Malaysian secondary school. The sixth point is about the how to give the best example through the information management in the leadership. And the seventh point, the seventh point is about the how to give the opinion, how the information that was gained, then give the opinion, give the critical analysis, and then also the discussion, mainly of the each topic that they discussed. And the point 9 is about the how the open mind. The open mind is the part of the leadership uh, uh, information and management, and mainly in the public secondary school context. And the point of the 10 point, how to emphasize the cooperative engagement throughout the activities, whether inside and outside the classroom. So this is the teaching leadership in Malaysian secondary school. Table 2, please accept our sincere apology if the point is not really clear. The first point is about the how the course of the, for example, is the Islam education course, and then the second one is how to read the Malay Arabic transcript, for example, and then the third one is how to concentrate on responding such information during the study. And then the point 4 is on how to focus, how to be focused during the class, for example. And then the fifth one, how to understand the comprehension as the basic need in looking at the detail of each information that they gained. And then the sixth point is about the guidelines, practicing process based on the guideline. And then the seventh point is how to understand, how to have the comprehension, how to have the sufficient comprehension and understanding. And this is, of course, need to be maintained uh, from the giving the lesson, and then also the ethical manner, for example, and then of course maintaining the proper uh, distance, for example, and then because
So,
and then yes.
so this is a 8 minutes reminder.
Okay, thank you. Now the success of, now we are going to the explanation or the translation or the interpretation. The success of the educational system will be measured by the effectiveness of producing quality students with the integrity of life. The beginning of the information and creation of the product starts from the top leadership of the school. So from this can be enhanced to show a good example in order to maintain an open personality and prioritize cooperation and togetherness, so that it will help in developing strong communication with students. The conclusion now, this study has examined the true states of the teaching leadership among public school educators. The findings show that the overall teaching leadership among public school has a mean score. This indicates that teaching leadership helps to determine students' achievement level, and further implies that public school teachers should seek to improve the instruction through leadership practice. It ensures that student academic achievement are commensurate with their leadership values. So that is our presentation for today. Now I give back to Mr. Ceremony. Any comment, question? Very, very welcome.
Okay. So just a question. What are you doing? I mean, you are doing research in which area? I mean, you are presenting different areas of research.
Yes.
You are presenting, yeah.
Yes. Our major is the sociology.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
sociology. So from the sociology perspective, we can um, expand
Yeah.
at the social
All the
background. Yes, for example, technology perspective, education perspective, and
right.
even, for example, economic perspective. Yes, that is doctorology.
Yeah, yeah. That's why you have three different titles. You have taken a research on three different areas.
Yes, yes, Doctor. Yes.
Yeah, your presentation
Okay.
was very nice.
Yes. Thank you, Doctor.
Um, Nice presentation. Can you just elaborate more on how many like schools or from where you have taken this survey? Just elaborate more on that.
Yes. Um, our survey actually was done at the two areas in Malaysia, mainly in Perak State. And the participants, most of them are the teachers who working in the government school, mainly in the secondary, government secondary school in the Perak State, in the two district in Perak States. Yes, hopefully can answer.
Yes, yes. Thank you.
Miss
That's it from.
Gitanjali. Yes.
Yes, yes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for
Well,
all of
thank you so much,
you.
sir.
Yes, see you later.
Yes, sir. Sure. Thank you so
Okay.
much, sir, for your
Yes,
presentation.
thank you.
Next up, we have is Magisha, and she'll be presenting on the topic that is technological trends and their impact on society, a comprehensive analysis. Ma'am, are you there in the session?
Okay, that is so easy action.
Okay, okay. All right, sir. So let's move further. And now we have Tabassum Tamanna, and she'll be presenting her paper, the mediating role of brand commitment in the relationship between brand trust and brand loyalty. Ma'am, are you there in the session?
Yes, I am.
All right. Please share your screen.
Sure. Thank you so much, my authors, panel members. Good afternoon. This is Tabassum Tamanna, and today I'm going to present the mediating role of brand commitment in the relationship between brand trust and brand loyalty. Before starting my presentation, I want to say this is a part of my MPhil thesis. Very soon I will do my defense. So let's start. The consumer behavior can be measured by the prospective user's intention. By studying the factors how consumers purchase behavior towards a particular product like mobile phone. Mobile phones, which have been capitalizing over the market, has a huge potential to further grow and sustain because of its branded products. Brand commitment was found to be a mediator in the relationship between brand awareness and brand loyalty. Therefore, more research is needed to establish the relationship between brand awareness and brand commitment, with mediator as the initial relationship. The purpose of this study is to determine the customer relationship with social, economic, and market factors in the mobile phone purchasing intention through observing their behavioral process. The factors are interrelated with one another and influence consumers' purchase intention towards choosing branded products by keeping brand image in the mind. This research aims to understand the role of brand image on smartphone acting towards consumer purchasing behavior and the mediating effect of consumer behavior in relation to brand loyalty. The study is a cross-sectional type, used a quantitative method where 424 representative samples were considered for data collection. Data gathered through a pre-tested structured questionnaire covering different sites of Dhaka city in Bangladesh. The sample approach was random in different locations in the study area, and respondents were those who currently using mobile phone. Along with the descriptive statistics, analysis on brand image against purchasing behavior was made. Also analyze the independent relationship to mediating factors for the relationship between purchasing choice and brand satisfaction. A higher proportion of respondents, 37.3%, were interviewed from educational institutions, which followed by approximately 33% from shopping mall, and equal proportion of 15% from bank or financial institution and from non-governmental organization. And the whole result we can see in this table. Highest majority of the respondents always prefer foreign branded mobile phone rather than local branded mobile phone. If we can see this table in my every site, the result percentage was same here, because in every site, every respondent prefer foreign branded mobile phone. In consideration of three factors, social, economic, and market, with different statements, initial results were established by frequencies which indicate level of the purchasing intention within each factors of statement. then separated by median values, which is 3 for all, that pointed towards the central tendency is to be gathered, is to be agreed with all statements of each factor. In this table, I have done correlation to see the relationship between respondent views and reason to their choice of purchasing a branded mobile phone between social factors, economic factors, and market factors with different statements. And here we can see the result is all factors or p-value is significant. This analysis consider mediators, one dependent and one independent variable. If I describe this, X is a purchasing choice, which is independent variable, and Y is a dependent variable, brand satisfaction. X affects Y through social factor, economic factor, and market factor. Besides social factor, economic factor, and market factor also affects a dependent variable, which is brand satisfaction. Based on mediating table, I have run logistic regression, which in stepwise. Here I can show only the result part. The following relationship is mediated by some purchasing behaviors, social factors, economic factors, and market factors. Considering brand satisfaction as outcome variable, the model goodness of fit has shown R0 is equal to 0.32 and R square is equal to 0.10. Consequently, social and market factors are showing significant mediator effect on brand satisfaction. Here we can see the result of purchasing choice relationship with purchasing choice with social factor. After that, economic factor related with social factor and purchasing choice, and after that market factor or related with economic factor, social factor, and purchasing choice. And we can see that social factor and market factor are significant here. The study concluded that there are other related issues which can play as dominated factors to choose the mobile phone prior to the respondent's purchase behavior. It is further be concluded that significant mediator effects on brand satisfaction towards a mobile phone shares a relationship which has been established between brand choice and customer satisfaction behavior. The study recommended that future research might be undertaken to make a quantitative approach to acquire more in-depth information with the real scenario. That's all. Thank you. Any questions?
Nice presentation.
Thank
Can you just elaborate more on the data sets which were generated from your survey? And again, what are the analytical tools you have used for these results?
Which one, ma'am?
The results you have shown.
Correlation.
Yes, so that is taken from which have you used any analytical tool or the
Spaces. You want to see my data set?
Just elaborate about data set. What was the different attributes there in your data set? And how many responses were there?
Respondent was 424.
Okay.
And I use Likert scale. And after that, when I do my when I've done my correlation, I can sort it in three in three portion.
Okay, thank you. That's it from my side.
Thank you.
Okay, how you want to pursue it for real life scenario? I mean, how you will proceed it further?
Ma'am, my work is actually, if I talking about, this is a part of my MPhil thesis. By this thesis, I want to see brand awareness and actually behavior, and to see actually consumer behavior about brand. When a consumer use the branded product, what was their actual perception or intention? So this is a small part of this my thesis. So I want to see actual consumer behavior.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Nice presentation. All the best.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So I sincerely thank our authors for their excellent presentation in this session and all our participants for being a part of this international conference. I hope this session was informative enough. We, on the behalf of the whole team, thank you for the support during this second version and previous first version of the conference. We'll be happy to have you again in the third version in 2024. All the presenters would be getting their digital certificates through email within 2 working days. Further, all the papers have already been forwarded to the Springer. The publication will be live within 6 months. Kindly cooperate with the team of ISBM 2023. Well, I also thank our session chair, Dr. Ruchinanda, and Dr. Gitanjali R. Shinde for chairing this session. So any closing remarks that you would like to give us, ma'am?
Definitely. Today's session basically focused on discussions related to issues and venues related to particularly governance, which was involved with business management in different forms. Participants discussed various case studies, their research work, their experiences, and in all, 7 researchers presented their work. And I want to thank each of the participants for participating in this session and making this session highly knowledgeable. And thanks to all organizers, GR Foundation and team for this wonderful presentation, for this wonderful session.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. In line with Ruchi ma'am, it was really nice presentations and topics was really very informative, and it was really good learning for all of us. Thank you team for giving me opportunity. Thank you everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Well, a token of appreciation that we would like to give you all. So, ma'am, this is for Professor Ruchinanda, ma'am. And so these are the token of appreciation that is given to the chair of the session. And this is for Professor Gitanjali R. Shinde.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Also, thank you for everyone for your valuable presence. And I kindly request all of you to turn on a camera for a quick snapshot of this virtual conference. Kindly turn on your cameras, whoever are present in the session, please. We can have a quick snapshot. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you so much. Signing off.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you all.